We're currently at home loading up everything to go to the cabin, and I just think it's hilarious that Colt will put himself in the truck as we're loading up because he's afraid he's gonna get forgotten or left out. So he'll sit in the truck, and even if you beg him to come out or offer treats or anything, he's not coming out of the truck. You would have to physically drag him out because he doesn't want to be left behind, which is really funny until you're going somewhere that's not the cabin and you actually can't bring Colt and he will not get out of the vehicle. Like, I'm going with, I'm ready, I'm in the truck. Got a small load going to the cabin today. Just some tools.
Yeah.
Coming to the cabin must be some kind of addiction because we're back for our third weekend in a row. But hopefully this is the last weekend we're working on the floors. It's been so fun to see the floors transform and like completely change the entire cabin. But hopefully this weekend we can do the sanding we need to, do the finishing we need to. We're gonna condition the wood and then we'll put everything back in the cabin later. But this should be the weekend that we finish the floors finally. It looks so good. It's definitely firmed up now. Honestly, this one's kind of sticky. I think it maybe didn't cure right because it wasn't warm enough. But these feel fine. So I should probably get the fire going.
Yeah.
These don't feel sticky at all, just that one. A little sticky. Yeah, some of the epoxies feel a little bit sticky, and it's probably because we tried our best to get the cabin warm enough. The problem is when we're sanding it, if it's sticky and gooey, it's gonna really gum up our sanders and it's gonna be really hard to sand.
Waited too long in the summer.
Yeah, we were gonna do this summer, but like
We were busy.
we're just like busy like you wouldn't believe. I sometimes, especially when it's really cold out, I'll even bring like just little fire starters to make it easier to start a fire when you really just want to get warm quick. But otherwise, I just use little sticks. I like just short little pieces. They're super dry, so it'll burn easily. They don't burn very long. They burn up really quickly, but it helps me get the fire started. So then I have this cute little basket in here that I just fill with sticks for easy access. Mostly it's just to be cutesy, but I actually use them. Corey is currently cleaning some leaf debris out of our wood stove pipe situation. And then Corey's gonna be using a belt sander to take the top layers off of the epoxy on the floor. And he also might use a planer, but we've got some really thick epoxy in some places. And then I'm gonna go back over with an orbital sander, the round ones, and clean it up behind him. It is 48 degrees, so we definitely need to warm it up a lot in here before we can do any kind of finish.
We got a new sander because I burnt up the last one. It comes with 80 grit sandpaper, so it's pretty coarse, which is good. It'll hopefully do a quick job. Then we'll just have to go over it with the orbit sander and get the big scratches out again.
I'll go get some, and then I'll follow you with the orbital sander. We are making some really good progress sanding. I started by taking the orbital sander and sanding the little spots on the floor from like drippage, not spots that we actually were trying to fill holes or epoxy, but sometimes you drop a little drippy drop of epoxy on the ground. That's what I started sanding. Corey was taking the planer and the belt sander and taking most of the stuff off the top of all of those little spots that we had epoxy. And then I followed up with the orbital sander at 80 grit and then 120 grit and finished off those spots. Corey's going back through and spot checking. I can't wait to get the conditioner on. Once we get the wood conditioner on, oh my goodness, then we're gonna have to wait for that to dry. Hopefully it soaks up into the wood and dries really quickly. And then we are going to do the first layer of finish. We don't have stain. We're not staining the floor. We're just putting a finish on to like brighten it up. We weren't sure we wanted to do a stain because that could like take away from the fact that we have 6-7 different types of wood on our floor. And I think just emphasizing that and letting them just be, let it be really white, let it be kind of red, let the dark ones be dark with the finish that's gonna shine it up. We didn't want to stain it too dark, even though I think a darker floor contrasted with the white walls would look kind of cool. It would definitely make the space feel darker and smaller. The problem with not finishing the floor is that we have wood putty in a lot of the cracks and we didn't get a certain stained wood putty. We didn't get a certain color for a certain type of wood. So the wood putty we put on the floor is like pretty whitish yellow. And I'm hoping when we put the finish on, it doesn't look terrible with the wood putty in the cracks. It also kind of dried up a little bit from being left for 2 weeks now since we put the wood putty on. So hopefully the wood putty doesn't look bad with us not staining the floor, but I don't know that staining it would even make that better. It's crazy how almost all of the leaves are off the trees now. Are you eating wood? Ow! Jesus.
And then follow up with the polyurethane.
Yeah. It's not going to be easy to get that squeegee under all this. Feels good to have most of the sanding done. We're supposed to go over the floor with like a 300 grit sandpaper after we apply this finish.
It raises the grain and seals the wood so the polyurethane doesn't become splotchy. All right, move that all around. Probably should go with the grain too, but we're just starting here. Play with.
I just want to do this edge first.
Yeah. And one. It's basically what we do with the other stuff too, so.
Ta-da! This is what it looks like with the sanding sealer on it. It looks so good. Look at that. That is so cool. I like it when you have crazy hair.
There's so much dust in it, I look like I'm gray. I need a haircut.
I like your long hair. Okay.
It is what it is.
We sanded the cabin. All of the epoxy is done. Most of it was fully dry. When we got here, it seemed like some of it was sticky. There were a couple sticky spots kind of by the far wall. So either we didn't put enough hardening stuff in the epoxy when we mixed it, or it was too far away from the wood stove and wasn't quite warm enough. But either way, it'll be fine. We just put the wood conditioner or the sanding sealer layer on the whole floor, and it made it look so good and so shiny. The one downside is we painted ourselves or sealed ourselves out of that room because we were like moving backwards, and we left the light on in our bedroom, and that's gonna drain our battery, but it is what it is.
It should be dry in an hour, even 2 hours, so the battery can last that long.
Yeah, but our battery's been funky ever since it drained all the way down. It's not holding, it's not holding like it should. Okay, see you in a little bit. Why are you whining?
You cold?
He might be cold. Are you just a baby? Just a baby.
Right now, I really feel I am flying, releasing my troubles.
How does it look? Looks amazing. He's like trying to put wood in the fire without touching the floor. We came out to go on a four-wheeler ride and check out the floors. I think it could use a little bit more time. It's been about an hour maybe. Corey put more wood in the fire. Our lights that we left on are still on. We can't get to turn them off yet. The sun's going down and it's really pretty. We're just gonna drive over the log.
Oh, look at this.
Oh my gosh.
We're just logging out here. Get it? Logging?
Oh my gosh.
It's a little brush cleanup. Ready?
I guess.
You might want to hold on.
Okay, I'm holding on.
No big deal.
We made it.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
We're back. Take my socks off. It feels dry. The putty looks kind of how I expected. It's not bad. It looks so good. The epoxy looks really good. It looks so good. I seriously cannot believe how cool it is with the floor in here. Quite warm in here, which is good. It'll help our floor do what it needs to do, but it's like close to 80 degrees.
Ready to get your sand on?
I guess. First coat of finish complete. Looks pretty much the same as it did after the sealer.